Hello everyone. This is a video tutorial on replacing your cabin air filter, checking and topping your vehicle's fluids, as well as changing oil. Thank you for watching. This is air filter replacement on a 2012 Kia Soul. This is Soulwagon Plus. So you need a Phillips screwdriver and you open up your glove box, unscrew points. Unscrew those points. Remove the filter. As you can see, the cabin air filter is covered in dust. This car is from 2012, and we haven't gotten the cabin air filter replaced since we bought it. Keep in mind, if you have a car that's as old as ours, you could have this amount of dust in your cabin air filter and be breathing this in every single day. Make sure to replace it at any mechanic place or use this video to replace it yourself. On many newer models, such as this 2025 Kia Niro EX Touring, the cabin air filter is located behind the glove box, just behind these two clips. Oh, well, one clip. I suppose it's different on all cars. Then press in the walls of the glove box, which may release all of your stuff onto the floor. But above that is the filter that you unclip this part right here, and then just pull out the filter. Mine is new, so no need to change it. Next, we're going to be checking the oil, as well as filling the windshield wiper fluid, coolant, and giving it a little extra fresh oil. If your car is a little bit older, like mine is, it may tend to burn oil, so I recommend filling it every once in a while. However, it's just a good idea to change the oil every once in a while, because having clean oil is very important for your engine to run properly. Then there's the engine air filter, which is easy to replace. If your motor oil is a dark or light brown, it usually is fine. However, if it's black, I would recommend changing it soon. Smelling it, if it smells like burnt plastic, I would also recommend changing it as soon as possible. My engine was already pretty full of oil, so I only put in about a half quart. I seriously do not recommend overfilling your engine, as it can cause leakage issues and possibly combustion issues as well. So make sure you are putting the right amount in your engine. Also be sure to be cleanly when removing your funnel, as if any oil drips on your car, it could mess up the paint as well. My coolant was almost over full, so I really wanted to make sure that I didn't overfill it. But as you can see, that's where the coolant is. Just be very careful with pouring it in, as it's right above the battery. I don't know if there's anything bad that would happen if it got on the battery, but I would be extra careful anyways. It's time for the wiper fluid now. Unfortunately, when recording this, I realized that my wiper fluid's reservoir was cracked and it was leaking all over the ground. So make sure to double check, as it could cause engine issues if you have leaking liquid. I would just be extra careful, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to fill up the wiper fluid as much as I wanted to. Then I just turned on the engine and let all the fluids run through the engine, making sure that they get distributed equally. Giving the car a rev allows the oil to cycle through, as well as the coolant. You may notice that the oil has gotten lighter in color, and that is because we mixed the newer oil with the older oil that I already had in the engine. And you'll know if your oil is at a good level if it's between the two lines, or if it's slightly above. I would recommend just getting it slightly above, so that if your engine burns any oil, you still have some left over to last a little bit longer. Then we're just going to test to see if the windshield wipers still work and if the washer fluid is still feeding through, despite the leak that was in the reservoir. However, both are good. Next, I will be guiding you through the process of changing oil. You have to replace the oil filter as well as the oil inside. And if you do not get it replaced, it can look really ugly. It sort of looks like mud, as you can see in this next photo. I believe this is the inside of a 2022 Hyundai Elantra that was being used as a rental car. This shows that if you don't get your oil changed regularly, it can gum up and turn into this brown muck that gets stuck in your engine. After lifting up the car in a hydraulic vise, we look for the oil reservoir, which is under the car right by the front bumper. This oil reservoir specifically gave me a little bit more trouble than most, as the lug was pretty rusted off. You can see me embarrassingly struggle to get this thing open, but eventually I do get it. And then once you unscrew it, just be careful because the oil can just shoot out. It's pretty heavy. Also, you need a oil pan underneath to catch the oil, as you do not want it falling onto the ground. In this case, the oil was pretty hot, and I kind of burned my hand because the engine was just on. I couldn't get the tool to unscrew the oil filter onto the actual oil filter itself, so I asked my coworker for help, and even he had a little bit of trouble as the oil filter is just so slippery and didn't have a lot of grooves for the tool to catch on. Yeah.
Just let them jerk out for a minute.
Then you want to make sure to moisten the rubber gasket, as it can dry out over time, which can cause leaks. So it's important to rub some old oil on it. Old oil is thicker, so it usually lasts a little bit longer as a lubricant.
Go slower. This thing's not like smaller. Should make it go a little slower.
And that's the end of the video. I appreciate you for watching, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you use these skills to work on your own car. You can usually save a lot more money if you do this work by yourself, but I also recommend oil changes by professionals as well. It's just whatever you prefer.